day 4, and this is the only time they've taken a round away from Team Vitality. Really shows you just the pure potential of VKS and the reason why they won Season 1 Invitational. Yes, we have to admit that the teams probably weren't up to scratch compared to what it is in Season 2. Season 2 is definitely a harder challenge than Season 1, but VKS still rising to the challenge, still keeping their name, still trying to maintain that championship of Season 1 all the way to Season 2 championships at the end.
Yeah, and it's one of those moments where Team Vitality, yeah, you've taken this loss, but you're not out of this one. It's like, how do you bounce back? How do you get yourself into this one? If we're looking at some of the net worth, I mean, if we're looking at it straight up across, nothing really sticks out to me too much from Team Vitality. I think that it was more of not an itemization issue, but just more of like a play style. I think VKS really took the fight to them, and Team Vitality, again, just on the defensive, didn't really know how to deal with the pressure that VKS was putting on them.
Yeah, because we saw that the Pei and the Byron was drafted very, very early on the side of Team Vitality. I think maybe they were suspecting that Danny may have not gone for a tank jungle pick. Maybe they would have put something more so a tanky clash lane, but however, Danny did surprise, and Danny's KDA really shows how effective that this Dune pick was against the likes of the Shangguan, the Pei, but also Byron. The amount of damage that come through these 3 heroes, and he was able to soak it all and not take a single death in game 1 really shows how well the Dune pick is in the CU Invitational. But like you said, it feels like it's just because Team Vitality are trying something different here. We haven't seen them on a tank jungle before. Pei coming through for the first time for Shanks. So again, it may just be a unfamiliar scene for them. We may see a little bit of an adaptation in game 2, whether they'll try a tank within their roster this time around, because they can't really call Modzu a tank. Even though we start to see tanky items being built on the Modzu, he definitely cannot sustain the amount of damage that Dune can.
Yeah, and I mean, look how much damage he did. He took 90k, obviously very tanky. He played Danny. Danny played the Dune to the limits, right? That's exactly what you want. If you're looking at one, and again, this is why Lady Jeanne is like one of the most hotly contested one. The fact that you're able to do all this damage, and you take somewhat limited damage because your positioning is on par. One has done a great job with that. And why Taser, of course, Taser with the 100% team fight rate, always there when you needed him. Make sure that he gets those kills while doing as much damage as possible, especially throwing out those burning sun arrows, which was setting up a lot of kills across the map.
Yeah, I think the pairing of the Hou Yi and the Doom was just perfect, and you can kind of see the strat that VKS was going for. The fact that these 2 heroes alone have 100% team fight participation is that Seisu was just like, yo, you take the lead, I will stay by you. I know I can get the positioning if you're there. And the fact that they have Niap as well that's able to kind of scare away the Shangguan, which we saw multiple times within those interactions with, especially in the enemy jungle as well. But looking at that gold graph, you could honestly think how hectic that match was and how great of an early game we saw from Team Vitality. The graph shows it all, and you can kind of see the decline where the side of VK is able to focus the Shadow Tyrant, and again that just gives more damage over to Hou Yi. And a hero that attacks so fast, you don't want to be giving that damage an extra chain lightning effect over to, because he can just reach you even further. Even though he's got a blazing sun arrow, with those basic attacks, it's just zapping you with lightning and just doing damage over time. So again, it's just a hard thing to play when you have the majority of squishy heroes onto the side of Team Vitality. But the MVP is going to be Mayna, so we're seeing a support MVP come through. 018 damage dealt, obviously support to do the damage, but the damage taken at 53k is absolutely exceptional, and only dying once and having 8 assists is really what it's all about when you are a support player.
Yeah, definitely. And Dahlia was the type of pick where, even as of yesterday, had a 0% win rate going in. It's actually picked up quite a bit. I believe it's a 44% 100% now. So it's done its damage. It has a lot of control. It provides a lot of support, utility that you want from your support player. So having the MVP on this one, Mena really playing the hero Dahlia to the limits, very strong there. But if we're going to talk about some of the highlights here, this is one of those moments where you thought that, Team Vitality had this huge edge getting the first 2 kills right there, kind of trying to set themselves up. But then where did the wheels kind of come off, Blim?
I feel like it was all around those jungle objectives. So once we started to see a more focus on the main jungle objectives for VKS, we saw those Tyrants come through. The positioning for the whole Yi was just impeccable. There was just a huge fortress known as Dune right in front of him at all times, and no one like Highland or Hay or even could latch onto the whole Yi. It was just a hard thing for them to do. Again, like I said, I feel like it's just an unfamiliar scene here for Team Vitality because they don't have that jungle tank. Seems to be their MO through the entire of the Season 2 Invitational. And then that beautiful steal from Nia is really the huge high-risk, high-reward play that you